be, let me move this little camera up a tiny bit. We are going to be, today is day 5 of our beginning quilting segment for what we've been making. And today we're going to actually learn how to make a log cabin block. There will be 5 people that will win today the actual materials for, hi Jackie, hi Chelsea, hi Emily, hey Brianne, Nana, oh my gosh, you guys are so awesome. But there'll be 5 people that can win the pieces for this block, and I will ship them to you, along with 2 fat quarters that coordinate with this fabric, so that if you want to do something a little more, and we've had lots of people win this entire week. Let's review what we've done already this week. So today is the log cabin. On, let's see here, Monday we did the 9-patch block. So if you want to go back and watch any older videos, Monday, all of the videos were absolutely posted to Facebook, and they're live videos. So if you go to my Stitches Quilting profile on Facebook, you can see all of these live videos. So Monday we did the 9-patch. We also did Tuesday. Tuesday we did the square and a square block. And then Wednesday we did a pinwheel block. And we're just learning the basics of quilting. Yesterday we learned a churn dash block for Thursday. So all of these videos stay permanently live on Facebook and also on YouTube. So if you're interested in re-watching any of those videos of those segments, then go back, because whenever you get your fabric, we've been mailing out fabric all week long to people, and it's been really cute. It's been a lot of fun. And lots of people have won. We've had like 5 people each day, I think, almost, of people that have won. And I can't wait to see your quilt blocks. And Carolyn sent me a picture today of, she got a design board, and I actually didn't look at it closely enough. Carolyn, if you're online right now, did you make your design board yourself? I'm so curious to know if you made that, but I saw the picture that you sent me, but I didn't have a chance to reply. We've been doing lots of little things. We had some kids home today. They had no school, so we were entertaining some kids and things like that. Anyways, okay, so here is what we're going to work on. The other thing that I'm going to introduce for those of you that haven't already seen it is I'm using the Cricut Easy Press to actually press this. And this little log cabin block is just slightly wrinkly. So I'm going to turn on the Cricut Easy Press, and we're going to press this real quickly. And, but first of all, let's look at how a log cabin block is assembled. Now, this is, how big is this log cabin block? I've got my ruler right here. So this is about 6 inches finished, a 6-inch finished log cabin block. But what's really popular and trendy right now is seeing a log cabin block like maybe 24 inches large, and then combining maybe 6 of those 24-inch squares. Hi Janice, how are you? Nicole is here. We've got someone from Oregon. Tell me where you guys are all from. I love seeing where people are from. It's really fun to see. So, but what you can do is make these giant and large. So we're just kind of making it on a small scale, just so I can introduce you to basic piecing and things like that. If we have experienced quilters that are watching, I want you guys to help me teach everybody. Hi, Judy. So please, if there's experienced quilters out there, let's please share some different tips or whatever that you guys can contribute. So this is our little block. I have the Cricut Easy Press heated up, and I'm going to show you one of the things that we talked about this week is that quilters, what they do. Oh, we've got someone from Australia, Kansas City, Massachusetts. Oh, she is actually from Paris, but she's watching from Massachusetts right now. We have someone from Eastern Texas, New York. Jackie won some fabric this week. Some people have won multiple days. We've got Carolina. We've got another 50 miles from the Canada border. Isn't it amazing? You guys, it gives me goosebumps to think that we can all be together as a community and but be everywhere around the world. It's phenomenal, isn't it? And I feel like the people that have been regularly watching some of the videos How fun is that, that we're actually building a relationship? I feel like I'm getting to know all of you guys. So I love all your comments. Okay, so the Cricut Easy Press is like one big square of an easy press, an iron. And it also comes with what degree you're going to set your heat to press your quilt block. So just so you know, I'm using the Cricut Easy Press. Not all people have heard what that is. So I just kind of pressed that so it was nice and flat because it was a little wrinkly. Okay, now we're going to go about building the log cabin block. And I will have all of the dimensions available for you guys of what the size is on this block. And I will make that available next week. So you can see we're going to start with, hello, Michelle. Hello. Oh, we've got Tennessee. So we're going to start with the very center. Oh, if you share, so we are going to have 5 people win this block. So in order to share, in order to win, just share the video. I'm trying to increase like my YouTube platform, my Facebook platform, Instagram I'm pretty big on, but so if you can share and then write shared in the comments, and then I'll have my niece Vanessa go through the comments and just kind of randomly select 5 people that said share or whatever. So we're making this log cabin quilt block. The center square is a red square. So let's build this out. So this is the kind of quilt block that you start from the middle and you start building out. So we're going to put this little square right here next to it. But imagine this block 24 inches by 24 inches. Wouldn't that be a lot of fun? Oh, thanks all you guys for sharing. So here is a small one, a small little block right there. Then we're going to add another strip right here. Okay. Which that actually looks a little long. We might have to trim that down after we piece those two together. The next piece that we're going to go to is this blue piece right here. But I'll show you how to do that, how to trim those down. So we're going to add a blue solid right here. We've been using this pinwheel fabric. It's kind of summery from the whole week. That's the fabric that we've used. Then we've got California. Oh my gosh, it's so fun to see everybody. We're going to add this next piece right down here. So you can see this one right here. And we are going to trim some of these off and square it up as we are making the block. Because we always want to be attaching fabric that makes it so that the block is square. We've got this one right here of a red. And then, wait a minute, let me look at this. Yes, then we have this red up here. And I need to talk to Vanessa because I actually think, Vanessa, these two I think have to be longer.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. You've got it. Oh, no, you've got it right down there. Yeah, you're right. Once it's sewn down, because it's exploding even larger. And then this one right here. Okay, so these are actually accurate sizes. So, but that's going to be the order that we do this. I want to show you something. Vanessa, I don't think we have our little numbers, do we?
No.
We don't know where they are. We did a video yesterday of all these things. I'm still editing the video. I'm so frustrated that I'm still editing videos. Do you guys ever make videos and then have to edit them? Oh, hi, Carolina. I'm editing a video that I'm dying to publish. I can't even tell you how bad I want to publish it. But I'm having to edit it, and it's ending up being kind of long. And I need to shorten it because people don't watch long videos. Hi, Carolyn. Carolyn, Robin, how are you? Oh my gosh, it's so fun to see you guys. Carolyn, I saw the picture you sent me today. And did you make your own design board or did you purchase one? She instant messaged me on Facebook and she showed me a picture of her own design board. And what we're using here is a little design board. It's just a piece of foam core. These I actually sell on Stitches Quilting if anyone wants to buy them. But really make your own. It's just a piece of foam core, add a piece of felt on one side, and then if you want to add some fabric around it. But did you make a design board, Carolyn, or did you actually purchase one? I saw your picture you sent me. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll get sewing and we'll wait for all of that too. Okay, so the first thing we're going to sew here is the number 1. We're going to sew the center block to this little short dude right here. So number 1 to number 2. let's turn on the sewing machine. I am using navy blue thread so that you guys can see the thread color and my seams. But typically, we've talked about this week, people use like a muted color of thread, like gray, white, or cream, or whatever. And my dog, Diego, when he was a puppy, he used to love eating my Aurifil thread. Made me crazy. I did not appreciate that. Okay, so I am going to sew these two together. I took them right out from the center. So the center block, and we're going to go over, and we're going to just sew these two together right like that, okay? And we use a 1/4 inch. I did put a piece of tape down on my sewing machine to help me know what my 1/4 inch seam is, a piece of painter's tape. So I'm sure lots of you guys know that little hack. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Then you can see here, you can see my stitching line. Oh, I've got lime green on the back. Remember, I ran out of thread yesterday and we put lime green. I ran on my navy blue, but I did put navy blue on the top. Okay, so that's fine. We'll just roll with it, right? We're going to now set this seam. So I'm going to take this one off because remember, that's what we're trying to get it to look like. But we're going to set the seam, and I'm going to just use this design board for pressing because I don't find a problem with it. So we're going to actually press the threads so that they become one with the fabric. Okay, so we're going to kind of embed those threads, just do a quick fast press right there. Then we're going to open this up, and remember, we're going to press to the dark side. So when we open it up, we're going to take this fold, and instead of opening our stitches open, we are going to press this over to the dark side. Oh, my dog has good taste with the Aurifil thread. You are right. Diego has really good taste. I actually posted a picture of him eating the Aurifil thread. He was really chewing it apart. But some people kind of got mad at me that I was like, as if I was not being taking care of my little puppy. But anyways, but it's actually a really cute video of like, Diego, how can you take my Aurifil thread? Okay, so, but yeah, you're right. He's got very good taste, that silly little puppy. But here I'm now going to press the back of this. So let's press the back. Remember, we're not ironing where we're pushing the fabric all around. We're just doing a small press there, okay? So it's just a press. We're not going to iron it because, let me show you this. This fabric of cotton actually has a stretch to it. So fabric has a stretch to it, and you can actually distort your fabric when you actually press it really hard. So you just want to do some light pressing. A lot of us quilters will actually use starch sometimes. So anyways, but you don't put the starch in your iron. Does anybody do that? I hear that it breaks you. You can press with your iron by just hanging. I can't see the rest of it, Christine, but thank you. Yes, okay, so Caroline, I think I might have you confused with another Caroline. I will check and see. But yeah, what was I going to say? I got confused. I don't know what I was going to say. But remember, we're pressing to the dark side, and then we're pushing that over. So let's go back to building our block. Because remember, here's an example. Does anybody remember what I was going to say? Oh, yes. I use Best Press too. The lavender scent is wonderful. But I was asking a question. Does anybody pour thank you, the starch in your iron? Because I've heard you will ruin your iron. So I just use it in a spray bottle. But does anybody do that? You were telling not to put starch in the iron. So yeah. You're right about that. You guys, thank you for helping me get back to my train of thought. Okay, so here we are. The next block that we're going to now stitch, let's go ahead and maybe put this over here. So we're going to lay this back in the center. Here's our example. Lay this back in the center. So now the next one that we're going to stitch is we're going to stitch this pinwheel fabric to the top of that. All right, so I'm going to peel that off of here, or not peel it. It's going to just lift it off. Now, this is a little bit too long, so we didn't cut it exact. I don't know. We got like a little crazy with our cutting there. So, but I'm going to show you this, that say you were doing this in a scrap method, I'm going to show you how to square this up. So I'm going to go ahead and take these two pieces. What type of press are you using? Yes, this is the Cricut Easy Press. I normally use an iron, but I work with Cricut as a brand, and this is a new product they came out with. So I'm actually using it's called the Cricut Easy Press. If you look it up online, I really like it because it's square like our quilt blocks. So I actually use mine for quilting, and I find it really nice. But an iron works perfectly well. And the best type of irons, I don't know, does anybody have opinions on irons? What's a good iron to use? There's some really expensive irons out there, but I've really heard that some of the best irons to use are just like the Sharp brand to purchase, and that those are really the ones that last the longest. So we're going to open this up, and we're going to set the seams by pressing it. Remember, we just did that. We want those stitches to become one with the fabric, so we just press it like that. Kind of helps them go down. I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to lay it back down, and we're going to press so that our fold is going over. What type of sewing machine are you using or recommended? I try to get something at the end of my seams when I double back to end the stitch. Well, when you're actually sewing and quilting, you don't actually have to send a request to be in your live video. Oh my gosh, that'd be really fun if someone wants to do that. Let's see here. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Okay, so, in terms of, I think we had two questions there. One of them was, oh, there's someone joined us in our video. Hello, how's it going? On Instagram, we got someone joining us.
Brazil.
You're from Brazil! Oh my gosh! So we got someone that joined us from Brazil on our Facebook message. If you guys want to split screen me on Facebook, on Instagram, it's split screen, but on Facebook, we can share a screen too. Black & Decker is a great iron. Okay, tell me from Brazil, do you have an iron?
Oh, I don't speak very much
Okay.
English. Okay, first, YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And I love to sew and quilt.
You like to sew.
Yeah.
Okay, very fun. Very, very fun. Okay, now what we want to do here is we actually want to trim this fabric off, because remember, that's too long. We've just got too long of a piece right there. So let's go ahead and trim this down. So I'm going to take this. Let's see, Vanessa, would you mind tipping down the camera for, does anyone else want to join me? Because we can do a split screen and people can join me. I'm so glad you joined me from Brazil. That's very fun.
I'm so glad too.
Yes.
I'm very glad too.
Yes.
And I'm loving.
Yes, it's fun. Quilting is a good, healthy hobby to do. So some people have a Black & Decker iron, but you can see I just squared that up. But let's go back to sewing some more of these pieces on. We're going to put this block back into the center. Let's see here. I think it was like this. Let's look at our sample. Where's our sample? Let me bring this over here. Okay, so you can see our sample right here. Now we're going to sew this piece to the blue stripe right here, okay? So let's pick up the blue stripe and do this. Would anyone else like to do a split screen with me? And then we're going to trim that. So let me sew this. Okay, well,
I'm gonna let you everybody see, okay?
Okay, that sounds great.
And I'm watching you.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you for coming.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, good to meet you too.
This work.
I'm glad. I'm so glad.
Congratulations.
Okay, sounds good. We'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us. Okay, but you guys, we can share screens. So if anybody would like to share a screen, I'd love to share a screen, and you guys can ask me questions. Let me see if there's somebody on Facebook that can share a screen with this to go live together. We can split a screen. Okay, so if you're ever interested in that, let me know and I can add you. So here we've got, you can see that this was too long right here. So once again, I'm going to lay this down and I'm going to use my rotary cutter and my ruler, okay, and we're going to trim off that excess. So I'm going to lay that down and I'm going to just trim that right off. And then look, we've got that one right there. So if you're dealing with lots of scraps of fabric, say you cut strips of fabric that were maybe 5 inches wide. So let me tell you right now, these strips are 1.5 inches wide. So each one of these strips are 1.5 inches wide. If you made this kind of block, which is called a log cabin block, in the old days, they always kind of said, oh, you need to learn how to do a 9 patch and a churn dash and a pinwheel, and a log cabin was always in that required kind of learning. The next piece we're going to add to this now is this other blue right there. We're going to add this over here. It's obviously too long, and we're going to add that, and then we're going to trim it off, okay? So, and we're going to keep pressing and doing everything else. I'm going to line that up a little bit better. But let's go ahead and line that down. Gosh, Carolina, I was able to add you as a split screen before on Facebook. I think it's really fun to get to know each other. If anybody's brave enough to do a split screen, I would love to have you guys. Okay, here we go. So I stitched this one on. We only have 4 more pieces to add. So once again, we're going to set the seam. But you can make this into a really modern quilt block. You can even make this into a ginormous quilt and maybe do it actually have your quilt, the strips be 10 inches wide and be sewing them together around and around, and you're building a bigger, Vanessa, what would you call this, you guys? What is the pattern of a log cabin? Where you kind of start in the middle and then you build and you build and you build it longer.
Maybe layering it?
Yeah, you're kind of layering it. Is there a word for that, you guys? What are we doing? Is there an analogy? So I'm going to trim this. It's too long again, remember? It's too long, so we're going to take this back and I'm going to trim that off. On YouTube, you can't quite see my cutting, but I'll move this so you can see a little better. So I'm going to just lay this down. And I'm going to put my ruler up to it. I'm going to take the excess fabric here and put that straight and cut that right off. So I've got this excess piece that I just trimmed off, and look at how nice and straight this block is. All right, so let's go back. This was looking like this. So now we need to add this piece right here. We got to add this piece right here. So I'll lay that down, move it up and over, and then let's go ahead and keep sewing this, all right? I'll stitch this on here. Okay, what kind of sewing machine do I have? Somebody asked. I just use Black & Decker iron. Did I maybe do that? So what kind of sewing machines do you guys use? I'd like to know that. What kind of sewing machines do you use? I have a lot of different sewing machines, and I believe, because whenever I travel, I usually take, oh, thank you. Yes, that Cricut Easy Press is a great iron. If it's something that you're interested in getting, I don't think you'll be disappointed. But you can pick it up at maybe Michael's, Joann's, and places like that. Now look at that. My seam is not very straight. I don't think, I went a little wonky on that one. So I'm going to go over it. Typically, you don't necessarily want to go over it in quilting, you know, if it were a show quilt, because you don't want too much bulk in your seams. And that's why you don't go back and forth and reverse your seams, because every time we stitch something, we're not, you notice I'm never reversing my seam. I'm always going just straight down. We don't do a back stitch or anything like that. Let's go ahead and press this again. We're not doing a back stitch, and we're not securing it, because what happens, let me go ahead and show you another picture. Let's turn it this way and press this again. Let's get these all pressed. I've got kids coming home from school. We had some kids that stayed home from school. My niece, her children were here today, and then I took them over to the rec center to go hang out. But you can see see here on the back of this block, the reason, I think a great way to see this is on the back of a log cabin block, is the reason why we don't back stitch is you can see later I actually crossed over this stitch that was up and down, the green thread right there. So you're not, Carolyn, you're a Bernina. I love Berninas. I don't have a Bernina. I lived in a small town when I got my first big grown-up sewing machine, and the dealer they had there in that town was a Pfaff or a Husqvarna, and I went with the Husqvarna family. I would love to have a Bernina. I really would, but I have so many feet and everything with Husqvarna that I probably wouldn't switch. But I want you to know that I travel a lot, and wherever I travel, I usually take a sewing machine with me. So what I do, okay, I'm going to trim this excess off. What I do is when I do go to another place, I sometimes purchase, like we go to Hawaii. You guys, I'm so lame. My husband and I go to Hawaii, and then I go and pick up a sewing machine at Walmart. Just usually something that's maybe, $70, $80, $90. And then I use that sewing machine when I'm in Hawaii. My poor sweet husband. So then I will fly that sewing machine home with me, and then I'll use it for other trips like that too. Okay, you guys, I know I'm crazy. My poor husband. All right, so here we go. So I believe that you can use any kind of sewing machine. My first years were using a machine that my mother gave me, and it was just a Kenmore Sears sewing machine. I'm going to lay this red now down on top of this one. That's the next block that we put on. So let me do that, and then we'll have these last two to do. So if you're just starting out with sewing, I don't know if you remember when the DVD players came out and they were so expensive. Do you remember, like, when you were younger or whatever? And they were just so expensive. Now you can buy a DVD player for, I don't know, $75 or something. Okay, so I really think technology has started to catch up with itself in the world of sewing machines. So there are phenomenal brands out there for sewing machines, okay? And I think all of the brands are good. I really can't criticize a single brand. I'm going to go ahead and press this open. I'm continuing to press. We're going to piece that off. But I really believe that technology has caught up. And there isn't, I think most of the companies, the brands of sewing machines can actually, I'm going to trim off that excess right there, are actually producing something very similar. There's slightly different features that you might find in some versus another, but really they're all pretty similar. Beginning sewing machines have gotten to be pretty doggone affordable. Now, we're going to sew on these last two. And remember, Vanessa said, my niece that works with me is Vanessa. Vanessa said that these will be the right size. Remember? And I was just like, oh yeah, you're right. And they seem so short, but they're the right size. So sewing machines tend to be personal. Try it in a store and see what feels right for you. Now, I absolutely agree with you. Sewing machine is a very personal decision. So I try not to get involved in that. But I do believe that you can purchase, if you're just new to sewing, I wouldn't go out and purchase a really expensive sewing machine. Some of them can get so expensive. So just remember that you can go and purchase something that's very affordable, because that's what I travel with. I will not travel with an expensive sewing machine. I just won't. I'm actually looking at getting just a basic beginner sewing machine that I can teach people how to use. And then going ahead and helping people learn that particular brand or that particular model. Another phenomenal way to actually shop for a sewing machine, though, is to actually go to, I sure hope I put that on right. Yeah, I did. Is to actually go to a quilt show or a, Vanessa, could you share a link for the UQSM homepage in this live message? You guys, I'm going to share this with you. if any of you guys are living near Utah or around Utah, there's a really big quilt and sewing marketplace show that's coming out in May. It's on May 9th. And I'll share a link in, and we'll see if Vanessa can find the right one. It's on Facebook. It's on UQSM. It's one of the pages.
Okay.
But I'm going to sew this last one to it. But I really think if you could go to a quilt show where there's lots of different vendors for sewing machines, let's go ahead and stitch this last one on. And you can actually go and try out all of the different sewing machines there and find out which one works best for you, rather than going around and going from store to store, or maybe just you go to the first store and you just opt in for that one sewing machine. Sometimes it's good to get a sewing machine that's, maybe your mom has the same sewing machine, or your sibling does, or somebody, your best friend has the same sewing machine, so that you guys can share tips and information with each other on that sewing machine. I'm going to go ahead and press this. It's not quite the right way, but that's okay. Okay, so here's our cute little log cabin block. So you can see, you just build from the center and you build out, and you keep adding strips as you go along, and you can see how I worked with different, okay, I want to see that. I want to see what you just said right there about sewing machines. But I really recommend going to a quilt show where there's going to be lots of vendors there. And that's a great place to go and select a sewing machine, unless you're just hooked on one particular brand. Which, for me, I bought a Viking Husqvarna early on. So all of my feet, all of my accessories go with that particular sewing machine. I do have some basic singers and other things. But that's our finished quilt block. Let's make sure it looks the same as this other one. You can see right here. Now, we've got 5 people that are going to win the little kit for this little quilt block. In addition to winning the kit for this quilt block, you'll also receive 2 fat quarters, and we've been shipping fabric this whole week. Let me go ahead and bring the Facebook one up, and I want to read some of your messages too. Vanessa, maybe you can help me read some of those. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so this is what we made today, was a log cabin. Some people are getting, 5 people got churn dashes in the mail. 3 people got this little 9 patch, and there's been days that people have won the same days in a row. So they're getting multiple of these blocks. Here's a pinwheel, and here's a square and a square. So those were the blocks that we did this last week. So, but there's some really fun comments I want to see that we have here. Let's see here. Ren Spencer on Instagram said, I got my Janome for $400 on sale. I didn't see much difference in the features available in the $1,000 machine. Got my granddaughter a computerized singer at Walmart, sale for $89. Okay, so you can see there are great options out there, and especially when you're dealing with children that are younger, those basic Walmart singer machines are fantastic machines to actually purchase. She also said lots of those out west, but here in Mississippi, we have to travel so far to ship quilt shows and can't travel anymore. I agree. You just can't travel. You really, really can't. It's hard to travel. I totally agree with you. And we're very fortunate to have this quilt show. And the quilt show is actually based on quilting and sewing. So this one that's coming up in May. And actually, I'm going to be an MC for part of the quilt show. Last year, I taught lots of different classes at this quilt show. But I'm going to be an MC for like the big group gatherings for this upcoming quilt show. And it's called the Utah Quilt and Sewing Marketplace. So I can put a link for that in there. But if you guys are in town, you did it? Vanessa put a link in the group for the Facebook live video. I'll share, if you go to, I'll share with you guys what it's UQSM is the handle on Instagram for that quilt show, and I will share about that quilt show on my profile at Stitches Quilting too. So let me see if some other people had some comments. Carolyn bought a Janome for her daughter that was a graduation gift. I have the first Sears Kenmore, but I've had 2 Vikings and I love them very much. Me too. Let's see here. Carolyn has 2 Berninas with a vintage Singer 501, which was handed down to me from my granddaughter. And also, she's handing it down, and she's also going to purchase an Ever So Sparrow model on Amazon. You guys, there are so many great options out there. So really, any kind of sewing machine that can do a straight stitch for quilting, for basic quilting, that's perfect for you, okay? So you just really want that straight stitch. The only other feature that sometimes I really like is needle up, needle down, but you have to pay a little bit more for that. But yeah, I mean, just really a straight stitch. Having a zigzag stitch is great too, but all sewing machines come with that. So you can see everything that we've sewn, and I will teach you guys how to do applique. The video that I am actually editing right now that I'm going to publish on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, it has quilting hacks, and there's a quilting hack in there for applique. So I'll also spend some time teaching you some different methods of applique, but there's one method that I use with, Vanessa, what's the word?
What's that? Huh?
For applique, I use interfacing to sew with applique. So I am going to just keep doing live videos Monday through Friday of each week. Each time will come with a winner. Okay, hurry, let's announce the winners. Vanessa, do you want to announce some winners? I think she does a great job of announcing winners. Did she already?
So.
Did you already?
Yeah,
okay, so let's get 3. Let's get 1 for YouTube, 3 for Facebook, and maybe. So did you guys share? Did people share? So let's go. Let's do maybe 1 for YouTube. Can we? Let's do a 6th one. Can we do a 6th one?
There is 6 actually.
Okay, there is 6. Okay, we're gonna go with 6. We do 2 on Instagram, 4 on Facebook, and 1 on YouTube. So I don't know who's following me on YouTube, but let me know. Direct message me. Everybody that wins, you have to direct message me your mailing address, okay? Through the platform. So direct message me through Facebook, your mailing address, through Instagram, your mailing address, etc. If you're out of the country, we've actually shipped to someone that won from the UK. I need your phone number too, because international mail requires phone number. So doesn't matter where you are. Okay. Who do we have, Vanessa?
Ilana Warren Dotson.
Ilana Warren Dotson. Is that from Facebook?
Yep.
Okay. Ilana Warren Dotson, are you still on? Are you still on? Let me see. I really put my comments a little bit higher up so I can see. Oh, there she is! With 6 kids, I'm on a budget and need to save up for a new machine. Well, Ilana, you won! You won the quilt block and some fat quarters today. Maybe I can get a sewing machine company to do a giveaway for a sewing machine. I've actually been in communication with the company, so I'm going to work on that. Okay, guys? Yay! Woohoo! Okay, who else, Vanessa?
Diane Davis Hartley.
Diane Davis Hartley. Isn't it nice that Vanessa just kind of randomly goes and selects people? All right, party. Diane Davis
Hartley
on Facebook. Are you still there, Diane? Okay, so.
And then Judy Holt.
Judy Holt. So that's still on Facebook.
And then Jessie Lynn Ross.
And Jessie Lynn Ross on Facebook. You get all the pieces for this quilt block along with 2. Did I say the last name? Jessie? What was the last name?
Lynn Ross. It's
Jessie Lynn Ross. I get distracted. Okay. So you're going to get the pieces for this quilt block. You can go home and sew it. Mess it up if you want to. It doesn't matter. Okay. Then you'll also get some fat quarters. So just hoard them away. Some people have won multiple blocks this week. Let me go on to Instagram and let me announce that. Do you guys have any questions after we've made these little quilt blocks? Okay. I don't know on Instagram how you share a live video. I know one person has shared it, but let's go ahead and let me go with some people that have made comments. So how about Ren Spencer? You've made some sweet comments, so I'm going to go with that. And let's see who else has made some sweet comments. Like Lily Cadal Pause.
Lily.
Lilicadalpoz. Did you get that down, Vanessa? Okay, Vanessa helps me. Oh my gosh.
And those were from who?
Vanessa and I are Stitches Quilting, and that's my business, is Stitches Quilting. It's an online fabric store, and I have so much fabric. So the other gal was Ren Spencer, W-R-E-N-N Spencer.
Okay.
If she doesn't write this down, or I don't write it down, we have to rewatch the whole video. Now on YouTube, I don't know how to figure out who's following me. Oh, there's comments on YouTube. Oh my gosh! I learned how to see the comments on YouTube. Okay, well wait, there's Karen, okay. There's Karen Franson. Okay, Karen, and then the last name is Franson. Yay! Okay, so Karen, she won a little kit. Okay, next week, what we're going to do next week is I'm going to do 5 days, Monday through Friday, of live videos, and we are going to make a quilt, a very, very simple quilt, all the way from start to finish, okay? And we're going to do something so simple, but we're going to actually put all the pieces together. Then we're going to actually have the quilt top. I'm going to teach you how to layer your quilt. Then after that, I'm going to teach you how to quilt it on a domestic machine. And then I'm going to teach you how to do the binding. Okay, what do you think? A finished quilt next week. You guys could sew along with me. I will have the quilt designed this weekend. And then I will get the pattern that will be on my blog. So it'll be a free pattern that you guys can have. And we will go ahead and do it that way. And you guys can download the pattern. You guys could buy a kit from stitchesquilting.com, but you can also just use up your stash, okay? We're going to go from start to finish and do a quilt block start to finish, okay? Does that sound like fun? I'm excited. So, and I will let you know what supplies that you'll need and those kind of things. And you guys can just watch it and then decide to quilt it or sew it later when you want to. But we're going to do something very basic from start to finish so you can see the entire process of a quilt. You've got the basics of how to do some of the quilt blocks, all right? But now we're going to do a whole quilt top, layering it, quilting it, and then putting on a binding. So all the way from start to finish, okay? So it'll be a fun week next week. Can't wait to see you guys, and I'm going to keep posting fun things. And look for my video that I'm going to post, because I want it to go viral. I want it to do really well, because I've worked hard on this little quilt, this little video. So as soon as I finish editing it, which I hope is today. So anyways, but I kind of have to be a mom though too. So I might pause and be a good mom. So I don't know. You guys, happy weekend. It's Friday. It's the weekend. I don't know what plans. I wish I would have asked what plans you guys had for the weekend. I'm going to actually try to plug in and be a good mom. And I'm going to take down the rest of my Christmas decorations. And I'm going to deep clean the house. Because you know when you take down all your Christmas decorations, it's kind of messy. So I'm going to clean all that stuff up. Let me know what you guys are all doing. And share with me, you know, any images you have. You can post to my Stitches account on Instagram. You can post on my Facebook wall. Do you know that you can post your own pictures on my Facebook wall for Stitches Quilting? So share things on Stitches Quilting, share things with me. Oh, good. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. But, so anyways, so just let's share and let's have a party. Okay. When will the kit be available? Carolyn, I will message you. We're pulling that together, our magic. Okay, and I will message you.
Make sure they get their
that.
messages, their address sent to your message.
Yeah, and remember, Vanessa says be sure to send the addresses so we can ship it out. Okay, she is my right hand person. Everybody, we got to just be a party and have fun, right, and help each other. Okay, love you guys. We'll see you guys later. Have a great week. We'll see ya. Okay, bye. But message me if you have questions. All right, see you soon. Okay, and we're gonna go out of this one.